Jordan Ellis here for Low Kick MMA. Today I've got with me Modestas Bukauskas, fresh off a big win in his UFC debut. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you, mate. How you doing?
I'm great. So, as I just mentioned, big win in your UFC debut. How you feeling? Must feel on top of the world.
Yeah, I feel absolutely amazing. Like I said, it couldn't have gone any better way. It's nice to go out to Fight Island, have that whole experience, and come back with a massive win and 50 G's. So, like I say, everything just on top of each other is absolutely amazing. But as always, me being the fighter and the obsessive man that I am, I'm just thinking about how can I get better, what's next, and I just want to feel that whole thing again, man. I just want to have that whole experience again. It's like a drug now. Like I just want to get back in there again.
Just talking about the experience, obviously it's UFC, it's another level to what you're used to. What's it been like? Are you home now, and what type of reception you have that after such a great performance?
Mate, it's been, like I said, I've had so many people messaging me. I had so many people from the Lithuanian media and stuff like that. I've had loads of people just messaging me on Instagram and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been quite an amazing, sort of reception, especially, like you said, being in the big leagues now. And mate, they take care of the fighters so well. Like literally it's on a whole nother level in comparison to any other promotion. The physio that they do for everyone, throughout fight week, all the nutrition, they do all your supplements, everything is sorted the way you want it. Even just being in a 5-star hotel and ordering room service, mate, like that even for me is quite even just a step up. So yeah, man, it was an absolutely amazing experience in itself. And even being back home and people asking about it, and people seeing you in a different light, getting the blue tick on Instagram and stuff like that, like I say, I just want to build on this. This is the beginning. This is the start of the journey. And like I say, the only way is up now.
And last time we spoke, you showed me the vision board you've got, and it was on there. You're going to get a 50 grand bonus and give it straight to your dad. So what's it mean to you just to achieve that and, be able to do that and make your dreams come true?
Yeah, I mean, I always visualized and always had feeling. I was trying to, imitate how it would feel, giving to my dad and giving to my stepmom, stuff like that. I remember quite vividly before the fight, just as I was leaving the household, I was telling my stepmom, I said, listen, for your birthday, I'm bringing you back that 50 G's. I'm telling you, it's going to, and, obviously being a mum, she's just like, oh, just don't get hurt. Just do your best, whatever happens. I said, there is no whatever happens. What is happening is I'm bringing this back to you. I'm going to win. I'm going to go do my thing. And then to be able to come back home and then say, see, mum, I told you I'll do it. And even to my dad, see, dad, I told you I'll do it. And to see the reaction on their face and stuff like that. And, to finally be able to give back after, for a longest time, just being a burden on everyone, asking for help and stuff like that. And now I've just started to be able to give back. I mean, mate, it's literally, it's what dreams are made of. Do you know what I mean? It's stuff that's the real satisfaction. It's not so much, I mean, yeah, it's nice to do things for yourself and, having a bit more, financial security and stuff like that. But to give back to people that are given to you, that's a feeling on a whole nother level. And obviously it means a hell of a lot to me. So yeah, to have it on my vision board and have it to all come true is, mate, it's absolutely amazing. And like I say, I'm looking forward to have more experiences like that. And like I say, you put the work in, things happen for you. So yeah, man, I just can't wait for more of it.
And beforehand, it went all plain sailing. Obviously, you were in 5-star luxury, but there was quarantines to be had. There was opponents falling out. When all this stuff's happening, what are you making of it? At any point did you doubt you were going to be able to make your debut?
I mean, the only thing that sort of gave me a little bit of doubt was my knee. I mean, listen, that happened sort of 2 weeks before the fight, and it's I seem to have a running record of managing to hurt myself close to the fight. I mean, literally, that was the only thing that sort of just put a little bit of a hindrance. When they said that my opponent pulled out, I was like, okay, well, it's the UFC. People are dying to step up to this level. People are dying to step up to this level. I knew they'll find me an opponent. That wasn't the problem. When they even gave me the initial opponent, I'm like, okay, it's a more dangerous opponent, but I know that I can overcome this. I've been training, you know, all the stuff that I've been training for my previous opponent is going to work exactly the same well against this opponent, since strike is my forte, and now this guy's going to strike me. It's perfect. It plays into my game. It's what I would want. Like I say, I mean, you know, I had bursitis in my knee just from, you know, overuse, and my knee like swelled up like a watermelon, like literally 2 weeks before. And I'm lucky I have an amazing physio, Leanna at Distinct Physiotherapy. If anyone wants to, you know, if anyone's in the area wants to give her a shout, she helped me, you know, sort of really like tone it down and figure out what I needed to do to get it back to full strength, and then collaborated with the PI to sort of see how we could get it back, you know, to full strength. And you know, obviously people even saw in my photos that they'd done before the weigh-ins, you know, my knee was swollen and stuff like that. So that was the only thing that sort of gave me a little bit in my head, like, well, this debut isn't exactly picture perfect, but at the end of the day, I'm used to overcoming adversity, and I felt like it's something that I needed to go through to really build a stronger mindset, to be able to improve my character, and to really show that I can go out there and still perform even with stuff, you know, hindering me. That was literally the only thing. Everything else, I knew the UFC would take care of it.
And you did touch on it. Your opponent that come in, Andreas Michailidis, he was, you know, he's well touted on the European circuit, and a lot of people were, you know, once they made it at the fight, everyone was saying about how it's a prospect matchup, and it was a much tougher fight on paper. So when you get that opponent, you know, what's your immediate reaction? Do you go straight to watching videotape and planning, or just do what you do?
We still had to see what his tendencies were. We had to see what he likes to do and stuff like that. But I feel like you can see what their tendencies are, but at the end of the day, you got to go and fight them on the day. You can't, you know, look in too much as to, let's try and pick everything off exactly how they do it. Because they may, you know, in the UFC, if they have fights like back to back to back and they're doing like a pattern of things, then yes, of course. But there was one interview or one thing that they wrote leading up to the fight saying this guy's improved dramatically since one of his other fights, which is exactly the same with me. So, you know, and I know that I'm going to be bringing in different things to the table every time I step into the cage, which I'm pretty sure he had that same sort of mindset, and he moved a lot better than what I thought he would. He didn't move so well in his last fight. This fight, he actually moved a bit better in terms of evasion. So, you know, like he brought other things to the table, and but the fact that he was a more difficult opponent gave me much more excitement. It gave me more, like I say, it gave me more of a drive and, you know, sort of a fire to go out and really perform, because I know when I get better opponents, I always try and rise up to the occasion. So I knew that would try and bring the best out of me, and I'm glad that I had that fight, because like you said, he was a very highly tutored guy, and it would have meant more for me, you know, with that fight being done that way, and everything turned out really well.
Just to go back a minute, just to speak about the whole fight Island experience, what was that like, you know, traveling over to Abu Dhabi, fighting in, you know, that type of environment? And I think the fights were actually about 7 or 8 in the morning for you guys, was it? So what's that like for you?
Yeah, I think my fight was at like 4:30 in the morning, actually. It was very, very early in the morning. Yeah. So, because I think it showed about 1:30 British time. So, yeah, I mean, like, obviously I had to acclimatize to that, but, you know, it just meant that, you know, you just had to sleep at a particular time. You just had to wake up and train at a particular time. So those sort of things weren't so really hard to sort of get used to. But yeah, obviously the quarantining, you know, having to stay in your room, you know, luckily the entertainment in Abu Dhabi was quite good. I had my dad there with me and stuff like that. So, you know, it wasn't too bad when I was in Abu Dhabi, but, you know, in London, you know, being in a room by yourself on your own, that was a bit of a long one, you know, having to do my own little workouts in the room and trying to cut weight at the same time. I can imagine it was quite difficult for all the other fighters, but once we got there and once everything was all done, I mean, the UFC is sorting everything out properly. Like, I'm talking like the COVID testing done, getting your bands, everything's like very strict, on time, prompt, how it should be. I mean, listen, I got to walk out in that 40-degree heat, and I tell you what, we literally was about 1.5 miles to get to the beach. We thought, oh yeah, we'll walk. It's not even that far. Not on the way back. We took the coach on the way back. There was no way we were about to walk out in that heat for, you know, however long it must have been to walk, even just 1.5 miles out there. But, you know, going on that beach and getting on the cage on the beach, you know, which wasn't even like canvas or floor, it was literally just wood with a little blanket over it. But, you know, like the whole effect of it, you know, being on fire, and it was amazing, you know, getting to take pictures there and stuff like that. So, just being like this historic event, seeing all the infrastructure that they're built specifically for this event and how they've done everything so well, like it was absolutely amazing. Like I said, when Dana White said he's going to take care of everyone, he's going to do everything in his power to make things go how they should do. This is why they're at the top. This is why they're doing all these events. This is why no one else can even keep up or match up, because he takes it to another level. So, and again, I'm very thankful to be part of that.
It's good to hear. So just to touch on the actual fight, it was the first round. It was nip and tuck really. There, it was a close first round. How was you? How did you feel like it was going while you were in there?
I feel that it seemed quite even on the exchanges. We both landed a couple shots here and there. As we closed the distance, I felt like I wanted to land more strikes, but I was sort of waiting for that second round. I was trying to feel the range. I felt like my punches were just like a little bit out of range, and he was moving away quite well. So we both got our fair share of shots that we landed. He landed a bit more leg kicks and stuff like that, but. Like you said, it was a bit of a back and forth. Some people had it, it's quite even. Some people had him winning. I don't know how it was, but I was always ready to sort of, I was ready to sort of unleash a bit more, as I'm sure he might have been, but he may have been. I don't know, but I was ready to unleash a little bit more in that second round. I felt like, I felt quite fresh. I felt no problems whatsoever. So yeah, and I mean, even when he tried to go, like I said, when he tried to go for that takedown at the beginning of the first round, I mean. I had the underhook. I had the over. I had everything specifically to be able to stop the takedown. I chose not to go and hit the elbows. And when my dad shouted in the corner, even 10 seconds left, it's like, you got to go for the finish. You see an opportunity to finish, go for it. And that's why I took that opportunity. So yeah, like I say, I felt like I probably could have done more in that first round, but at the same time, like it was a bit of a feeling out process for both of us.
And when the finish come, it was a big one, and it was a similar it was pretty much identical to your last one, where you're hammering them elbows on someone. And it's one thing doing it on the Cage Warriors stage, but another thing doing it UFC. So, what did you make of the finish, and then how do you think that will impact your opponents moving forward? You are a stand-up striker, and that might put people off actually trying to shoot in on you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think they in terms of someone who's going to try and wrestle me, they'll either want to do it out, maybe, I don't know how they're going to approach it. Maybe they're going to think twice to sort of shoot on that head, on that inside, on that side with a clear open path to those elbows, and might try and borrow their head a bit deeper. But then if they do that, I've got all the appropriate techniques, from all my training partners and stuff like that, to be able to stop it and negate anything that they want to do, doing it another way. This is the thing. Anything that they have that they do, I'm going to link it in to do something different and do something a different way. Like I said, I think it's just instinctual. Like, you see an opening and you want to go for the finish. As a UFC, like, at the end of the day, you want to go off impressive. You want to show what you're capable of. And that was one way that I was going to be able to do it. And when you hear your dad shouting elbows, you're just going to go ahead and do it. It becomes automatic, especially when everything's a lot louder in the corner for you, like not necessarily in the arena, but like from the corner especially. So I'm going to go and I want to go and finish fights. You want to keep up that streak. You want to do those things. So yeah, even coming forward, like, I think now, even then, like, I'm going to keep getting better, even from striking, even from grappling. So like I say, this is the beginning of my UFC journey, and still sort of very fresh in my skill set that I'm able to show. So yeah, as every fight will go on, you'll notice I get considerably better. The fact that I even, stopped that initial takedown where the guy didn't get the full grips on me leading up to the cage, is just an indication that I'm working on these things. And yeah, like I say, as it goes on further and further, I hope to be even more dangerous and make them want to shoot on me even less.
Yeah, and when the finish actually came, it was right at the end of the round, and he was kind of rolling around on the floor, and the referee gave him every chance, and then he fell through the cage. And, there's a couple of people saying it was a bit of a controversial stoppage. What did you think of the actual stoppage? Did you think he was done?
I think the whole door opening situation was, I don't know why there was so much concentration on that. In my personal opinion, and I think it should be in most people's opinion, like, why is there the emphasis that the door opened and he fell and the ref stopped it because of that? No, the ref stopped it because he asked him 4 or 5 times, stand up, go to your corner, and he did not. He did not respond. Like, I thought when I landed those shots, he was on the floor and he was holding his head, and I thought, okay, well, I'm getting ready for the second round. My dad came into the cage with the stool, getting ready for the second round. But I already saw his days. And then when the referee asked him to stand up 4 times, I'm like, they're going to stop this. Like, before the door opened, I'm like, they're going to stop this because the guy is not getting up. if the guy does not, and they're saying, oh, he's trying to lean on the cage. Why are you trying to lean on the cage? Like, why are you trying to lean on the cage then if you have to go to your corner? Like, what, you're trying to catch your breath or whatever? Like, there's no, you have to go to your corner. Like, your corner's on the other side of the cage, not on that side. And even when I saw him, like, you know, like I say, credit to my opponent, he's a very dangerous opponent, and you know, he's going to do very well in his career and stuff. But, you know, like, even the fact that when he was trying to get on the stool after they'd like got him up out from where the cage was and everything, like Daniel overhead, I'm pretty sure he would have stopped it despite the fact the door opened, it just because he couldn't get up. And then even on the chair, he was very wobbly. So, you know, he was dazed. So at the end of the day, it was a completely clean stoppage. All this stuff about, you know, illegal blows. Number one, the referee's in there for a reason. He can see it the clearest out of anyone. And, you know, we went in the rules again, like where the spots are. You see a massive swollen patch where the elbows landed. Do you know what I mean? And it was in the correct spot, like literally just above the ear, behind the ear, like, but not to the back where you can't hit. So at the end of the day, you know, all the sort of controversy, I think is unwarranted because, like I say, but at the end of the day, I'm thankful. Let them talk. At the end of the day, let more people talk about it. Let there be more interest. Let people think it wasn't so much of a good win, because now it's just going to mean that, okay, in the next win, all you lot are going to be watching. Whether you love it or hate it, you're going to be watching the next fight. And another big point I'm going to say is, why did I get the 50,000 bonus if it wasn't a clean exchange or it wasn't a good finish? They wouldn't have given me that if they didn't think it was a nice finish. So at the end of the day, you know, aside from what everything's been saying, I'm just like, do you know what? At the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do. I know what I did do in there. And yeah, we're moving forward. Everyone else can keep talking about it. We're moving forward and we're moving up.
It was 100% clean, and in fairness to your opponent, he didn't seem to, you know, argue with the stoppers at the end. He was, you know, he's fully out of it, and I think the cage opening was just kind of an excuse for someone who doesn't want to give you credit. Moving away from that, you know, debut out the way, how quickly do you want to get back in there?
The next time the Fight Island opens up again. As soon as these set of events go off, mate, like I said, this leg, probably another week, you know, of rest and get it really back up to full speed. And I'm back in training, man. I'm ready to go. I'm raring to go. I'm ready to go and put in another impressive performance. Go and be more crazy out there. You know, just do more. Like, now I've been in the cage. I felt what it's like in the UFC. You know, in that whole environment, and I'm ready to go and put in even more impressive performances. I'm, like I say, as soon as they get into that fight on the next, I want to get on it. And I wrote on my board, I want to have 3 fights this year, and I stand by that. No, you know, as long as there's no injuries and stuff like that, I want to get these 3 fights in this year.
Is it pretty much anyone and everyone right now, or do you want to, you know, be climbing the ranks on getting into the rankings as quickly as possible?
Yeah, listen, I want to get to the ranks, you know, like I say, as soon as I can, but it's got to be done in a smart way. You know, you've got to have the right challenges at the right times, and, you know, just work your way up, you know, the way that it's meant for your path. Everyone's path is different. You got to do it the way you got to do it. And your manager, got to thank my manager, absolutely amazing. It's going to be the guy that's going to lead you in the right direction. And I know my man has got me covered. He knows what challenges I need, when I need them, what's going to happen, and stuff like that. I mean, listen, there's a load of, like, you know, really good guys out there on the circuit. Listen, I was supposed to fight Vinicius. I mean, listen, I would like to still have that fight at the end of the day. If that's something people wanted to see, I'd want to take that. You know, Roman Dolidze had an amazing performance in his debut. I think that would be an amazing matchup. Do you know what I mean? It's just stuff that's going to bring interest and have, like, you know, have people wanting to come and see us fight. And at the end of the day, I know we're going to put on amazing performances for these people. And yeah, like I say, I'm looking to beat those guys who are getting their recognition as well. And, you know, at the end of the day, everyone wants to go to the top. So yeah, the more guys that I'm trying to beat, you know, who are trying to get to the top, you know, like I say, the quicker my ascent. So I'm just going to keep training, keep working hard, and then keep picking them off one by one.
And just finally, before I let you go, on Fight Night, how was the knee? Because you seem to be moving, you know, perfect. That's what you light on your feet for a light heavyweight anyway. So how was it?
Obviously, it was still in the back of my mind. Like I say, like, when I went on my knees and stuff like that, it still felt painful. But at the end of the day, when I went in there, like you said, yeah, I had to move. That's how I wanted to fight. I wanted to move light on my feet to try and not give him too much of an avenue to be able to land some more of his devastating strikes. So that was just the game plan anyways that we wanted to follow. So yeah, really realistically with the adrenaline and stuff like that, I didn't feel it when I was up from standing. You know, obviously the swelling and stuff like that, I definitely felt it after the fight. But, you know, like during, and even if it would have went into the second round, I would have been able to move on it still. Like I say, I was still in a good position to be able to use my tools to their fullest. Yeah, it was still obviously, like I say, in the back of my mind, I think it swelled up a bit more than usual just because I had something pre-existing after the fight. But, you know, like I say, it's healing up now. You know, you give it, you know, another week or whatever, and I should be back into training anyway. So, yeah, like I say, I can't wait to get back in there.
Great. Well, thanks for making time for low kick, and congrats on the win, and good luck with the next one. Can't wait to watch it, mate.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Like I say, thank you so much for having me on again. And yeah, I can't wait to make another good performance for you.